Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is time once again for the weekly college football awards here on the Jack Wagon Sports Network. We're going to go over, as always, give you the best offense, defense, team, and the game from this past weekend of college football. A couple rules before we get started. If you're new here, you can be nominated for every single award, but you can only win one award per week. And the second rule is if you played an FCS school, it doesn't count towards anything. You don't get nominated for an award if you played an FCS school. So let's go ahead and get started with this week's awards. Alrighty, as always, we start on the offensive side of the football. Three nominees for you this week. We have Notre Dame, Oregon, and SMU. Let's go ahead and look at them one by one. First up, we have Notre Dame. They played Pitt at home, 37 points, 535 total yards. They did have two turnovers in that game, though. Oregon, 35 points, 390 yards, and one turnover in that game against Utah on the road. And the third and final nominee is SMU. They scored 69 total points, 62 on offense, 638 total yards, and zero turnovers in their game. All right, with those nominees, your winner for best offense of week 9 is going to go to SMU. Just thoroughly impressive how they played on both sides of the ball against Tulsa. I understand Oregon was on the road against a ranked and a very good Utah defense, and Notre Dame played another Power Five school. But when you're able to not turn the ball over and move the ball as efficiently as SMU did, you need to win this award. I really like how they played, and so SMU wins best offense of Week 9. Let's flip to the other side of the ball now. We have the best defense of Week 9. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Louisville, and Kansas State are going to be your four nominees. Let's break these down individually and hand out this award. Notre Dame, we're going to look at them first. 7 points allowed against Pitt, 255 yards allowed. They had two defensive touchdowns and five total forced turnovers in that game. Next up, we have Virginia Tech. They played Syracuse on Thursday night. 10 points allowed, 137 yards allowed, and they did not force any turnovers in that game. Next up, we have Louisville. They played a very good Duke team at home, and they gave up 0 points, 202 yards allowed, and one forced turnover in that game. And the fourth and final nominee is Kansas State. 0 points allowed, 208 yards allowed, and two forced turnovers in that game against SMU. Your winner for best defense, I said SMU, TCU. Best defense of week 9 is going to go to the Kansas State Wildcats. Just very impressive. This is 2 weeks in a row now that they gave up 3 points last week, 0 points this week. Just very impressive back-to-back weeks, and they absolutely deserve to take home the award for best defense of week 9. Now it's time to give out the best team of the week. We have Notre Dame, Oregon, Kansas State, and Georgia nominated here. We've already talked about Notre Dame, gone over both of them. The only thing to add in here is they had a special team touchdown as well on top of everything else. 58-7 win, 535 yards to 255, plus three in the turnover differential, and then, of course, the two defensive touchdowns and the punt return touchdown. We talked about Oregon's offense. Defense only gave up 6 total points, 390 yards to 241, and they finished the day +1 in the turnover differential on the road at Utah. Next nominee is Kansas State. They won 41 to nothing, 394 yards, 208, and they finished the day +1 in the turnover differential. And last but not least, we have Georgia, 43-20 victory over their rival Florida, 486 yards to 339, and +1 in the turnover differential department. Your winner for best team of Week 9 is going to go to Notre Dame. Just very impressive, and anytime you can include that third phase of special teams, it's going to elevate your stature. And I know they just won this award 2 weeks ago when they played USC. They deserved it then. They deserved it again this week. Very impressive performances back to back for them. And like I said, anytime you can sprinkle in some special teams, and especially the way they executed it throughout the entire game on Saturday, they're going to get put up there for this award. It's time for the final award, which is the best game of the week. We had USC at Cal, Tennessee at Kentucky, Old Dominion at James Madison, and Oklahoma at Kansas. Four very deserving nominees. Let's go ahead and break each of them down. First up, we have Tennessee at Kentucky. It was 33-27, 60 total points, 925 total yards. A little controversy after this game. Kentucky was protesting to the SEC and NCAA about how the game was officiated. Really felt like they kind of took some points away from Kentucky, allowing Tennessee drives to get extended at times. But nonetheless, Tennessee leaves the game with a big victory. Um, our next nominee is USC at Cal, 50-49. USC was down 43-29 at one point in this game, and they stormed back. Cal scored a touchdown with 58 seconds left. They went for two to take the lead, and that 2-point conversion attempt failed. I love the call there by Justin Wilcox to go for it. There's not many opportunities you get as Cal to beat ranked teams, especially a in-state rival as USC is to them. So I love the play calling there, or the decision, not necessarily the play calling, but I love the decision. But USC holds on, and they stop their losing two-game losing streak from becoming three. Next game we had was Old Dominion at James Madison. Old Dominion, they stormed back. They were down, 13 points at one point in this game. Mounted a huge comeback, get it to within three. They had three separate drives from then on to take a chance and either tie the game or send it to overtime. Um, James Madison holds them, and they hold on for the victory. And James Madison continues to stay undefeated to this point. And the fourth and final game was Oklahoma at Kansas. 33-38 victory. Kansas with a game-winning drive scores a touchdown with a great drive. I love the play calling there, especially down close to the goal line, and they score that touchdown with 55 seconds left. Um, Kansas, beats a ranked team for the first time. What feels like forever. And your winner for best game of Week 9 is going to go to the Kansas Oklahoma game. This just had it all. I had a weather delay. Yeah, I think it was at least an hour that the game had got paused. We had fans trying to slide down the tarp in the end zone with the covered stands. But this was just a very entertaining game. It's one that you couldn't turn off, and that it was a very enjoyable game across the board. And this definitely deserved to take home the award for best game of Week 9. So that'll do it for this week's awards. Make sure you drop a comment down below and tell us what team should have been nominated, what game should have been nominated, or who you think should have won some of these awards. We look forward to doing this each and every week, and we really appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you drop a like and a subscribe down below for more college football content. We do this stuff weekly. We have other videos that come out. Head over to our social media. Check out our TikTok. We do daily college football content over there. As always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next video.